hope you're doing good. I hope everyone is doing well today. I am tired, as usual, but it's fine. And I'm also, a little, I guess a little wound up, you could say. Because, and actually, you know, on second thought, I think I might actually just switch to chatting screen for this. Because, while we are going to, where am I? There I am. Is chat showing on, is chat, okay, chat should be on this, that's, Okay, I guess we're going back to the game because, at least chat is showing here. I guess I'm gonna have this rant with the title screen in front of us, but that's fine. My YouTube recently, these past few days, has, as it happens every now and then, given me a lot of videos about people talking about certain gacha games, certain Hoyoverse gacha games. And to those who have been in the fandom for a little longer, have been playing, especially HSR and Genshin for a while, know that this happens like every couple of months or so, with people voicing their displeasure, voicing their discontent with these two games in particular, some people more so than others. And it's been showing up again. It's kind of blowing back up again after 3.0, the 3.x patches of HSR releasing. It's kind of always the same people too. So like, I don't want to like generalize, but it is a very loud part that I've been kind of just like, quote, criticizing. Is it just me, or do people these days, especially certain people these days, not know the difference between criticism and just straight up complaints and hatred anymore? Listen, I mean, you know me. You've seen what I've been streaming these past few weeks. I love HSR, and I also love Genshin. Even though I don't stream it, I play it in my off time. I play it off stream, but I love these games, right? And funnily enough, I already have been called what people like to say, a Hoyo shill for literally just enjoying these games and playing them and having fun. And people have been throwing that term around recently so much, especially Tectone and the like, and I'm assuming maybe as fans or whatnot, throwing on the term Hoyoshil when it comes to people just enjoying a game. It's been getting really annoying. I feel like people nowadays, especially these kinds of people, genuinely don't know the difference between criticism and just straight up complaining anymore. Number one, don't complain about a game that you haven't played in ages, so you haven't even experienced it properly, so don't talk about things that you don't even know anything about or don't even know much about, you know? That's number one. Number two is, listen, as an alleged Hoyoshil, according to, user Evil Mihoyo or whatever they were called, that tried to like put me down because I had a counter argument to a certain point of criticism that I thought was just kind of ignorant and not true. You've heard me talk about HSR a lot. You've heard me voice complaints about the game that, you know, I've been having for a while now, but I still enjoy the game, you know? I love the game, but I also have quite a few complaints that I voice whenever they come up. And people these days are so quick to pin the label Hoyoshil or toxic positivity on someone who is just enjoying a game that they like and who doesn't make complaining about it a core part of their personality or content if it's a content creator. I think people really have come to understand the idea of criticism as if you don't talk about what is bothering you about a game like 24/7, and if you don't do it in like a very cynical and aggressive manner, then that means you don't actually mean the criticism you're giving, or that you are just trying to appease people, you're trying to be overly positive so that people don't hate you. Meanwhile, they're out here, their form of criticism is, oh, this game sucks and this game is bad, this game keeps getting worse because of XY. And framing it in a way where, whether they intend to say it like that or not, but they're like, oh yeah, this is why Genshin or HSR, this is why these games are falling off, this is why people should stop playing them, this is why Hoyoverse is the worst company in history, this is why this game suck, and if you like what I'm complaining about, then you are in the wrong. That is the way that these people are framing it, right? The main reason that these people often give when you try to counter argue what they're saying, or you try to point out the way that they're saying things, they're like, no, listen, these people are complaining because they love the game. And they want the game to become better. If you like a game, you want it to be the best version of itself. And, I don't know, maybe that's just me. That sort of phrasing or that sort of counter-argument really reminds of that one manipulative parent or relative that is just doing their damnedest to criticize every random aspect of your life, criticizing your life choices. But the way they're phrasing said, quote, criticism is in a really down-putting way that kind of is aimed to make you feel bad. And then when you call them out about it, when you confront them and you're like, hey, I get why this bothers you, but maybe you could pay a little more attention to how you're saying these things, Maybe you could try to watch your phrasing a little bit. And then when you do that, they're like, listen, that's not true. That's not true. You don't like the way I'm saying it because you know I'm right. And I'm only saying this because I'm worried about you. I want you to get better. I want what's best for you. Or they double down and then they call you sensitive, or they think that you can't handle criticism or whatever. That is what this reminds me of. That is what these people remind me of. They say that they are only offering, constructive and valid criticism because they want the game to be better. They want the consumers, they want the players to have a better time and to receive better treatment. But here's the thing, and this is not just relating to gacha or even video games in general. This is just when it comes to these kinds of people and just criticism in general. If you actually care about improvement, and if you actually want your criticism to help improve something that is bothering you, you would take care to phrase said criticism in a way that makes people want to listen to you. Because here's the thing, and this is what these people don't get. It doesn't matter whether whatever you're saying has some ring of truth to it or not. It doesn't matter. If you are phrasing your complaints and your statements in a way that, number one, presents your personal opinions and personal experiences as fact, and number two, implies that your opinion is the only correct one, and if anyone disagrees with that, then they have some sort of problem, they're in the wrong, or they're too positive, or too naive, or too whatever, then it doesn't matter what you're saying, because the way how you say it immediately puts people off. It doesn't matter how correct you may be. If people don't like the way you're saying it, they're not going to listen. And if you actually want people to listen to you, then you're going to pay attention to the way you say things. You're going to pay attention to how you're saying these things. I don't know what's so hard to understand about that. It is not difficult. And if it is, that is because you're not used to it, which is also very concerning. It should not be difficult to formulate your argument in a respectful manner that does not make people feel like you're talking down to them, like you're treating them like they are in the wrong. The way that people are framing content creators like Brand Online and Doro44, and I think, other content creators that I can't think of right now, like they're peak Hoyoverse dick riders and Hoyo shills that could not ever accept any form of criticism to their beloved game, that is just objectively wrong. Because here's the thing, the difference with these kinds of people and people like Tectone is, right? I watch Bran quite a lot, right? I've been watching him for years. I've watched Doro quite a bit. And it's not like these people are overly positive about everything they do, right? When it comes to Genshin, HSR, or other Hoyoverse games, or just games they play, it's not like they're overly positive. It is that they genuinely enjoy the games that they're playing. And when they find an issue with the game, they don't go on and make several videos about why this one thing makes their game bad, or why it's, they don't start doom posting about it. They don't start complaining about why this one thing is what's gonna ruin Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail or whatever. No. To say they're playing through a story quest, and they stumble upon an aspect of said quest that they don't like, you know? What they do is, in that moment, they stop what they're doing. They say, you know, as much as I like this game, as much as I love this game, this is something that's always been bothering me. And then they explain what's bothering them, and they explain why it's been bothering them. And then you look over at chat, and you would think, oh no, they're complaining about the game. Surely people are not gonna like that. No, you know what's happening? More often than not, you look over at their chat, and you get people agreeing with them. You get people offering their own thoughts in a respectful manner, and even, oftentimes, the people who disagree do so respectfully. They explain their point, and if these content creators disagree, they're like, I disagree, this is why I disagree, but you're entitled to your own opinion. And then they move on. And that is all. People who say that, like, oh, you can't criticize Genshin Impact today anymore. No, that's not true. That's not true. The reason people say that is because said criticism, in their eyes, is just saying, this game sucks because of that. That is not proper criticism. That is you being a whiny bitch and expecting people to jump on your fucking temper tantrum. Why are you giving these kind of people attention? It's not about giving them attention. I mean, listen, I feel like it's important to talk about. It is important to talk about, and that's what I mean, right? I personally consider this annoying. I want to talk about it, but I'm not gonna make like a big deal about it, you know? I'm not gonna start posting 5 videos a month about these kinds of situations. I talk about it. Maybe I'll turn this into one video and then I'll leave it at that and I'll move on. It's not gonna bother me. Like, I play the games I enjoy because I enjoy them. And I also, again, I have my criticisms even about games that I absolutely love. I just don't make a big deal about it. The thing is, they think their vision of the game is the best. That too, yeah. They think that whatever they have in mind is the best. And they feel validated by the people around them who share that sentiment. So people around them, you know, that think similarly, they support their own mindset, and so they're like, see, these people agree, so obviously there has to be something to it. Obviously I have to be correct. In point of brand, he defended Genshin on his YouTube videos, but on Twitch he voiced his complaints, so I can understand pointing that out. Not even, like, he's made several videos talking about his complaints about Genshin, and I think HSR too. He doesn't often make dedicated videos to it, but they are, the complaints or the criticisms are in the videos, you know? Maybe they're in the middle of a quest or something, or at the end or at the start of a quest, or when he, you know, does other stuff and it just pops up. And, you know, like, people who don't watch Bran, they're not gonna actually watch his videos and find those moments, and so they think that he just doesn't. They be thinking the devs can read their minds to implement their vision. That, and also people, listen, even in terms of, like, valid criticism, I hope these people are aware that, especially when it comes to bigger changes, like certain quality of life updates or story-related stuff, if you voice a complaint today, and they see it today, and they decide today that, okay, we're gonna fix this, or we're gonna try to change this, we're not gonna see that change until at least months in the future, if not a year or even longer, depending on what it is. Like, you're gonna have to fucking wait. Could they communicate that they're working on it? Yes. Communication, something that they can work on. Yes. But if you want change, you're also gonna have to wait for the people in charge of change to make it. It's the way society has become over time, mostly due to the toxicity of social media. I blame Twitter. Yeah, pretty much. Like, Twitter has generally just made so much worse. I only go on Twitter if I want to be mad about something. Every now and then, I'm like, you know what? I want to... I'm feeling like riling myself up a little bit, and that's the only reason I would ever go on Twitter these days. But other than that, I barely use it anymore, and genuinely, it has made things so much better. Hate watching / playing is so weird for me, like, no one is forcing you to continue it. Exactly. But then, then they bring up the argument of I don't actually hate the game, it's just because, you know, I actually like it, I just want it to get better. But if 9 out of 10 things that you're saying about the game are complaints and, quote, criticism, then I don't think you actually enjoy that game as much, because otherwise you would at least highlight the positive points more often. Twitter in a nutshell, you had a bad day, and decide to get mad about something, so you go on Twitter and just type away about some random topic. Yeah, I mean, I don't even engage on Twitter anymore. I just read, and then I rant to my friends or something. about whatever I saw. Because I don't want to hear anything about what people on Twitter have to say to me anymore. Not that it bothers me, it's just like annoying. I mean, it bothers me, but not in the way that like it would get me down or anything. It's just annoying. But yeah. At the end of it, you know, play the games you like. If you don't like a game, don't play it. And if you have any criticism about a game that you allegedly enjoy, watch your fucking phrasing. If you actually want people to listen to you, and if you actually want people to accept your criticism and to understand where you're coming from, you're gonna have to make an effort to be respectful. If someone calls you out and confronts you about the way that you're saying things, you're gonna have to take a step back and properly reflect. Communication is so very important. Again, it does not matter what you're saying. If the person you're talking to does not appreciate, is upset by the way you're saying it, they're not going to listen to you. Because you are, no matter if you're if what you're trying to say is correct, you are still making them feel like they are disrespected, and you are putting them down, whether you intend to or not. And if I feel disrespected, I will not listen. Whatever you say, if I feel disrespected by what you're saying, I'm not gonna listen. And if you wanna call me a fucking snowflake or sensitive or whatever, sure, go ahead. I just value communication and I value respect. I value basic human decency. I value people trying to understand my viewpoints. They don't have to agree, but they should make an effort to understand. And that effort, ideally, should not only come after me pointing it out 5, 10, 15 times. It should take once at most, and then you're gonna have to actively pay attention to what you are doing. It should not be that hard. If it is hard for you, if it is difficult, that is because you are not used to being considerate of other people. And that is something that you should work on. Consideration goes a long fucking way. It goes a long way. Respect, empathy, being considerate of people, it gets you pretty damn far, even with people like that. Anyway, I think I have not much more to say to that.